There's a stretch of highway on the Oregon coast where people vanish without a trace, where the fog rolls in thick and something climbs into your car when you least expect it. Locals call him the Bandage Man, a decaying figure wrapped in bloody gauze, reeking of something not alive and sea salt, haunting the cliffs of Cannon Beach. Some say he's a ghost. Others say he's still alive. Whatever he is, once he finds you, you never make it to the next town. This is the true horror behind Oregon's most disturbing roadside legend, the Bandage Man. They say Oregon's coastal fog hides more than trees and rain. Out past the sleepy towns, down twisting rain-slicked roads where logging trucks rarely run anymore, there's a presence that lingers. Locals whisper its name in hushed tones. The Bandage Man. But what if I told you he wasn't just a story? Our story takes place just outside of Cannon Beach, along the old Highway 101, where dense forests press close to the pavement and ocean mists coil between the pines. Fog blankets the ground so thick you can barely see your own hood. You can hear the ocean, but you can't always see it. The Tillamook State Forest looms inland, ancient, moss-draped, and nearly soundless. It's easy to get lost out here. It's even easier to be forgotten. The legend says it began in the late 1950s. A man named Franklin Meyer, 32, a quiet logger and part-time mechanic from Nehalem. Franklin wasn't just another logger. He was known for his quiet strength, a man who kept to himself but always lent a hand when someone's truck broke down. Born in 1926, he grew up in Nehalem, a town where everyone knew your name and your secrets. He loved the woods, but he feared the old logging roads, said they were cursed, haunted by the ghosts of men lost to the saws and storms. On the night of the accident, the sky was a bruised purple, thunder rumbling in the distance. Franklin was working late, trying to fix a jammed loader before the next storm hit. The rain came down in sheets, turning the dirt road to mud. Some say he slipped. Others say he saw something in the trees, a shadow, a face, something that made him freeze. The next thing anyone heard was a scream, cut short by the crash of falling timber. Suffered a catastrophic accident along one of the old, decommissioned logging roads. Some say a tree crushed him while he was fixing a downed loader. Others claim it was a car crash, a fiery wreck that left him burned beyond recognition. He was rushed to a small local hospital, one that's since closed down. The North Tillamook Medical Center was a place of last resort. Nurses whispered about the things they'd seen, patients who vanished, strange noises in the halls, lights that flickered even when the power was steady. Records from that time are vague, inconsistent, or missing entirely. But nurses who were there, now long retired, whispered something disturbing. When Franklin arrived, they barely recognized him. His skin was burned, his eyes wild. "We kept him in a back room. He screamed all night. He wasn't human anymore." They say he was wrapped head to toe in gauze, blood seeping through like a sponge. But it wasn't just the injuries, it was his mind. Franklin didn't speak anymore. Some say he spoke in tongues, he growled, he'd laugh suddenly and then cry. Others say he begged for someone to end the pain. On the third night, during a storm, he vanished from the hospital bed. The doors were locked, the windows weren't broken. But Franklin was gone. Vanished. They searched the woods. Dogs refused to track the scent. Nothing was found, except for a strip of blood-soaked bandage snagged on a rusted fence post. locals began to whisper that the Bandage Man still roams the forests, lurking on the lonely roads. He is said to be filled with rage, seeking revenge on anyone who dares to pass through his domain. Many travellers have claimed to see him. They describe a tall, gaunt figure, his body wrapped in filthy yellowed bandages. His eyes, bloodshot and burning, are the only part of his face visible through the wrappings. Some hear heavy, dragging footsteps behind them, or catch a glimpse of him standing by the roadside, illuminated for a fleeting moment in their headlights. The most terrifying encounters happen to those who stop on the side of the road. Legend has it the Bandage Man will appear suddenly, slamming his fists on the windows or even climbing into the back of trucks, scratching at the windows with gnarled fingers, his bandages stained with fresh blood. The first official sighting was logged in 1961 by a trucker named Jerry Collins, 44, who reported a man wrapped in bandages who jumped into the back of his pickup near Cannon Beach. I thought he had passed out at first. Then he started clawing at the rear window, moaning. I stopped the truck and got out, and he was just gone. Never drove that stretch of road again. He told his wife he saw something in the Bandage Man's eyes, something that wasn't human. For weeks after, he found strips of gauze tangled in his truck's bed, stained with something dark. He started sleeping with the lights on, and he never spoke of that night again. Police dismissed it. No follow-up was made, but the stories grew and grew. That same week, a local fisherman reported seeing a figure standing knee-deep in the surf at dawn, bandages trailing in the wind. He said the air was thick with the smell of smoke and something rotten. When he called out, the figure turned, and the fisherman swore he saw a mouth full of broken teeth grinning back at him. One of the most chilling modern encounters came in October 2019. Emily Miller, 26, and her younger brother Jason, 19, were returning to Portland after visiting Seaside. They pulled over near Hug Point for Jason to get cell signal. That's when it happened. He came out of the woods, just shuffling, dragging one foot. His arms were twitching. I thought maybe it was an accident victim at first. Then we saw the face, or the lack of it. Just red eyes. Everything else was bandages. Emily floored the gas, but not before they heard the sound of something scraping across the back windshield, like fingernails. When they stopped at the nearest gas station, bloody smears were found on the tailgate. Police again found nothing. After 2 hikers vanished from the same stretch of road in 1993, Tillamook County Search and Rescue filed a restricted report. The terrain here is unforgiving. Steep ravines, tangled undergrowth, sudden drop-offs hidden by moss. The weather can turn deadly in minutes. Search and rescue teams have lost radio contact in these woods, their compasses spinning wildly. Some say the Bandage Man can bend the forest to his will, leading searchers in circles until they give up or disappear themselves. Declassified in 2020 under FOIA, it contained this chilling excerpt. Unidentified humanoid figure observed from air, 6+ feet, pale coloration, no visible clothing, disappeared into brush. Location 45°49 N 1-23° 57W. That report was closed. No further action taken. But why did the air search halt so quickly? Why did the thermal scanners stop working in that zone? One searcher, who asked to remain anonymous, described seeing footprints that started and stopped in the middle of a clearing, no sign of where they came from or where they went. Another said he heard a voice calling his name, but when he turned, there was only the wind. Some locals say the Bandage Man is more than just a ghost. They claim that what returned from the hospital wasn't Franklin Meyer anymore. That something inhuman took his suffering and used it as a doorway. There's talk of a red mist that sometimes rolls in before sightings. Animals go silent. Electronics glitch, lights flicker, and some claim to hear breathing in their ears. It's not just a ghost, it's angry, says Marla Hines, 58, a forest ranger who quit her job after a strange encounter in 2006. He knows you're there before you know he's coming. You can feel it, cold, wet, like it's behind your eyes. Could this be a cursed spirit? A cryptid? Something else? Something that feeds on the fear of those who cross its path. Over the years, reports have come from campers near Short Sand Beach who woke up to find bloody footprints circling their tents, a group of teenagers camping near the old logging road in 2002 woke to find their tent slashed open, muddy footprints circling the site. They packed up and left before sunrise, swearing never to return. One of them, now an adult, says he still dreams of red eyes watching him from the trees. A group of teenagers camping near the old logging road in 2002 woke to find their tent slashed open, muddy footprints circling the site. They packed up and left before sunrise, swearing never to return. One of them, now an adult, says he still dreams of red eyes watching him from the trees. Tourists driving Highway 26 who saw a figure in their rearview mirror, inside the car. A retired police officer recalls a night in 1987 when he pulled over a speeding car. The driver was pale, shaking, and insisted he'd seen a man wrapped in bandages standing in the middle of the road. The officer found nothing, but he never forgot the look of terror in the driver's eyes. Lumber workers who heard bandages flapping in the wind, followed by incoherent screams echoing in the trees. Are they all lying? Or is something truly walking the fog-bound roads of the Oregon coast? Paranormal entity, a tormented soul, angry and caught between life and death. Skinwalker or shapeshifter. Native legends speak of mimics that assume tragic forms to lure victims. Government experiment gone wrong. The vanished hospital and missing records fuel whispers of biological testing during Cold War-era medical trials. Mass hysteria or shared delusion. Is this just the power of folklore manifesting in real trauma? What do you believe? So, I ask you, if you were driving alone at night down an empty, foggy road, and you saw a tall, bandaged figure on the shoulder, would you stop? Would you even look? Or would you do what the locals say? Keep driving, don't slow down, and never, ever look back. What would you do if you heard footsteps behind you on a foggy night? Would you turn around, or would you run? Have you ever felt like you were being watched, even when you were alone? Let me know in the comments. Your story might be the next one I tell. If this story sent a chill down your spine, hit that like button and subscribe for more terrifying tales of true disappearances, roadside horrors, and cryptid encounters. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Go on then. Ta-tam. Do you think the Bandage Man is real? Have you or someone you know seen anything strange on the Oregon coast? Don't forget to share this with a friend who's planning a road trip anytime soon. They might want to reconsider their route.